Welcome to the School District of Palm Beach County's P-Card mandatory training for fiscal year 24. This is the required training for all P-Card holders, principals, directors, department heads, regional and instructional superintendents, and P-Card site administrators. This training must be completed by November 30th, 2023. All of the information presented here can be found through the P-Card Help Center on the Purchasing Hub site. Throughout this training, please click when you are ready to advance to the next slide.
What is a P-Card? A school district P-Card is a Visa card issued by Bank of America. All cards have a chip embedded in the physical card and require a PIN or personal identification number to be entered when making purchases in person. You may self-select a PIN when you receive a new card, but you will need a verification ID and a phone number to do this. To help assist with PIN and account access, we recommend all P-Card holders to create an account with Bank of America Global Card Access. You can do so by going to their website at bankofamerica.com/globalcardaccess. The P-Card cycle runs from the 28th of each month through the 27th of the following month. The district standard monthly limit on a director's or principal's card is $7,500. Directors and principals have the ability to make travel-related purchases. For employees, the monthly limit is $5,000, and they do not have the ability to make travel-related purchases. What if the monthly limit is not sufficient for your purchasing needs, or you are required to book travel, but you don't have those privileges? Your principal or director or immediate supervisor may send a request to Purchasing Card System to increase your monthly limit and/or add travel for a specified time. For principals and directors' cards, the email would have to come from their immediate supervisor. All cards reset to the district standard limits on June 28th of each year. The P-Card is a business card and should be used for business-related expenses only. Personal expenses are not allowed to be charged to the card. Having a P-Card does not affect your personal credit in any way. P-Card expenditures must follow all district policies and procedures. This includes following the matrix of purchasing rules and internal accounts purchasing guidelines found on the District Hub Purchasing tab and the Admin Courtesy and Rental Account Guidelines per Bulletin P14050-SCFO dated 10/12/11. Remember, the state requires purchases to be made with bid-awarded vendors where available. So before you spend your time searching catalogs, check if the item is available in our marketplace, or check to see if the commodity is on bid on our Purchasing All-in-One webpage. You are responsible for all purchases made on your card, so do not let others use it and never write your PIN on your card. You are also responsible for calling Bank of America to file a claim due to any suspected fraudulent activity on your card. Their claims department number is 1-866-500-8262. You will need a verification ID and phone number associated with your account. The verification ID and phone number are given to you at the time you receive your card. Please do not throw this information away. If you have forgotten this information, please contact the purchasing support team at purchasingcards@palmbeachschools.org. Once you've filed a claim and Bank of America reissues you a new card, please also send us an email to purchasingcards@palmbeachschools.org to notify us so we can be aware of your new card arriving at the district office. Utilize the sales tax grid and admin courtesy bulletin located on the purchasing site on the district hub. If for some reason you have an issue with a transaction made with your P-card, for example, they charged you tax on a purchase that was tax exempt You are responsible as the cardholder for contacting the vendor to resolve the issue. Check with your principal or director to determine how pre-approval of P-card purchases are to be handled in your school or department. Some prefer verbal pre-approvals and others require all purchases to be pre-approved in writing. For large dollar transactions, like anything over $5,000, the purchasing department will require the principal, director, or immediate supervisor's approval via email. Prior to any daily limit increase, please review your available balance to see if you will need an increase to your monthly spend limit. This page and the next lists allowable purchases we are asked about most frequently. It is not an all-inclusive list. The general rule to follow is if you have available funds that allow for the purchase, the item is not on the prohibited list or does not require prior approvals, then you may use your P-card for the purchase. Never hesitate to call the P-card support staff if you have any questions regarding a P-card purchase. Please shop around for the most economical price available for all purchases. Items on this slide with an asterisk are on bid. Please note, purchases under $1,000 other than marketplace orders should be made with a P-card, as special requisitions typically may only be entered for orders over $1,000. There are exceptions to this rule, including consultants, which may not be purchased on the P-card. The purchasing department maintains an allowed and prohibited list on the district hub site. This list can be accessed from the P-card Help Center on the hub. Items on the slide with an asterisk are on bid. Pyramiding is when a cardholder subdivides an order or payment to circumvent the purchasing policies, procedures, and guidelines, such as splitting a payment to stay within the single purchase limit. This is not allowed. Various laws, policies, and procedures mandate specific criteria must be met when purchasing certain items. We recognize the need many schools and departments have to purchase these items on a P-card. To assist, certain items may be allowed once the required approvals have been granted. These items require prior approval, even in increments less than $1,000. An example would be getting your facilities area manager's approval prior to purchasing paint or outdoor furniture. Please make sure you have these prior approvals in writing and forward to the P-card support staff for approvals greater than $1,000. The most current list of these items is always available as part of the P-card allowed and prohibited list. The list is available on the purchasing site on the hub in the P-card Help Center. Items such as bleach, aerosol paint, lighter fluid, etc. are prohibited and may not be purchased by the district by any means because of harmful ingredients. Other items are prohibited to be purchased by the district for ethical reasons. There are other items that may not be purchased on a P-card due to specific financial reporting. The data needed for reporting is not available when purchased on a P-card. These items, such as assets, consultants, and computers, require a requisition to be entered into PeopleSoft. The P-card Help Center on the District Hub will always have the most current allowed and prohibited list. Please check this list often as changes do occur throughout the year.
Here are a few reasons why a P-card charge may decline. Make sure you are using your location, your school or department as your billing information when purchasing things online. Please make sure you are entering your correct 4-digit PIN number that you registered when you activated your card. If you bypass this 4-digit PIN number at a store, it will automatically decline the charge. Your PIN must be entered at all times when shopping in person. Unusual spending outside of your spending trends may also cause a charge to flag as fraud. Please be sure to verify these transactions by registering your card with Bank of America Global Card Access so you can monitor all your transactions, verify your transactions, and report possible fraud. That website is located on this slide.
Travel expenses should be charged to the P card. Incidentals such as movie rentals, room service, bar tabs, airline upgrades, etc. are not allowed to be charged to the P card under any circumstances. Travel meals are reimbursed to the employee based on the allowed per diem, and an out-of-county travel form must be completed and submitted to receive payment. Travel meals should never be charged to the P card. It is important to stress that no travel expenses should be booked without prior TDE approval or field trip form approval as required by school board policy. An Avis voucher should be obtained for car rentals. If Avis is not available at your destination, then the car rental may be charged to the P card with prior approval. As always, be sure to follow state and district guidelines when making arrangements. Any single transaction over $1,000 will be declined unless the P card department is contacted prior to the purchase.
It is very important to send complete information when requesting travel increases on a P card. When sending your request, please make sure you are sending each trip in a separate request, but within each request, you must include all approved TDEs and field trip forms, the quote for the hotel, the quote for the airlines, if any, and the quote for the conference registration. Do not separate these items within a trip. There are specific approval processes the purchasing department must follow and must review each trip expense in their entirety. Reservations may not be made without prior approval from the purchasing department if the transactions are greater than $1,000. This is even if the charges will not hit the card until the day of the trip. Before requesting a large dollar trip daily expenditure limit increase, please look to make sure you have enough monthly credit on your P card. Monthly limit increase requests must come from the cardholder's immediate supervisor, as previously stated in this training. Make sure that when traveling in the state of Florida, that our tax-exempt status is used for all hotel stays. If traveling without the P card, it is very important that the credit card authorization form that was provided by the hotel was filled out and sent back to the hotel prior to check-in so that the payment can be made. Finally, a very important note, you must send an email to purchasing card system 1 day prior to the trip so that the card being used during the trip is increased for the hotel at check-in and check-out. If this step is skipped, the P card will not be increased and charges will decline.
Card holders are required to have an itemized receipt for each expenditure. In the unlikely event that your receipt is missing or the vendor cannot supply an itemized receipt, please complete a Missing Receipts Report, PBSD Form 2094. Backup documentation is required for certain purchases, such as approved TDEs for travel-related expenditures or approval emails for items requiring prior approval. All food purchases should have a reason for purchase listed on the receipt. Cardholders must sign the bank statement each month and follow the checklist outlined on Form PBSD 2095. Cardholders should deliver the monthly P-card package to the location's P-card site administrator in sufficient time for the principal director to review and sign. Monthly P-card packets must be scanned to the district by the 20th of each month. Improper card usage may result in disciplinary action up to and including termination and/or criminal prosecution. This is the same progressive discipline process that is used for any other situation with an employee. Treat your P card with the same care that you would treat your own personal credit card. Helpful information, resources, and job aids, as well as a PDF of this training, may be found under the P Card Help Center on the Hub Purchasing webpage. The P Card Help Center will always have the most current allowed and prohibited listing, as well as other tools like the Quick Reference Guide and Admin Courtesy Guidelines. These tools are available to you to help to make P Card purchases in compliance with state and district policies and procedures. If you do not find what you need or have further questions, please email or call our P Card support staff. They are always happy to help. Thank you for taking this course. Please return to e-learning and complete the Cardholder Acceptance Guidelines and Contract and the class evaluation in order to satisfy the mandatory training requirements. Spend wisely.